Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I bought another project. I know I shouldn't have, but I've had my feet up with the broken ankle for the last few weeks, and I just couldn't resist browsing Facebook Marketplace and Copart and all these sort of things. Put a bid on something, didn't think I was going to win it, and I won it, and it turned up last night. So I have bought a transporter, T25 sort of square bus ones. I had one before. I do them quite often because they go quite cheap on auction sites. But this one had no pictures of the interior. Apparently they couldn't open any of the doors, and no pictures of any engine. Van's up there. I will show you what it looked like when it turned up last night, and we'll have a good look around it now, and hopefully we can get this thing started and driving, because it looks like it should be able to run and drive. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see this well at night, but I've just had this dropped off from Copart. It's about 9:30 at night. This is a 1990 VW Camper T25. I don't really know anything about it. The pictures of the car said that they couldn't get into the back, so they didn't know whether it had an interior in it or not. The car's only got, I think it's 62,000 miles on it. The seats underneath these cushions look absolutely immaculate. It's just underneath, every seat's got these covers on it, but underneath these seats are absolutely immaculate under there. So, and these pedals hardly look worn, so I'm wondering if that probably is genuine mileage. They said that they couldn't open any of the doors, but I've literally just walked over. This is the worst part of the car, basically. The rest of it isn't actually that rotten at all. It's just this one bit. The actual rest of the car isn't bad. Like all where they normally go around the roof and everything. They always go around this back bit, around these boot lids. And this one is absolutely immaculate around here. So it looks like we've only really got one bit of rust damage to deal with. Yet everything is in here. Like full toolkits, jacks. Got cable to plug it in. The car is completely solid this side, like where they normally go around here. It's got a few little bubbles, but yeah, around the roof and everything. But I can see through the window that there is an interior in here, and I haven't opened this door yet because they told me that they couldn't open the doors. But I'm pretty sure this key that it seems to have opened all the other doors will probably do it. That's it, I think that's unlocked now. So that, to me, looks like a full interior. So I don't think anyone bid on this because they couldn't see if this thing had seats or anything in it. All original fridge. They've obviously did come in here because they've opened all the cupboards to have a good rummage around, because that's Copart and that's what they do. One of them even left their energy drink by the looks of things. A leisure battery under there, which looks like it's still in there. That looks like a bike rack as well, which is pretty cool. I actually don't even know if this thing's got an engine in it, because they couldn't get it running apparently. So under here, the original cooker, sink in this one I think. Wow, that all looks really good condition. Oh my god, got another sink there. That's a drainage. I think you wash up in that one and dry in that one or something. I have no idea. Seems to be good. And there, looks like a storage cupboard with a mirror, a deep one to keep all your utensils and stuff in. There's a lamp there. Look at that little spot reading lamp. All right, we'll get a much better look at this in the morning, but I'm absolutely amazed at this at the moment. It's like a time capsule. Everything is exactly how it would have been. I mean, these are all got covers on them. It's got the original seats under it, and it looks amazing. The only thing that I don't mind it too much, but the table's got covered in stickers. Someone absolutely loved this van by the looks of things. I also just noticed, I saw this scratch mark here, which means this chair spins the whole way around, and you can sit facing this way. The main thing here is basically we need to see if this has an engine in it. That's the most important thing. I've got to say, under here it looks absolutely immaculate. No rust whatsoever. Let's see if we've got an engine. Gosh, doesn't feel like this has been opened in absolutely ages. Right, that's that off, and it still has all of the stuff inside it. Here we go. Looks all complete to me. It looks like the standard water-cooled boxer engine. Can't see any major issues. There's a bit of rust down here. but I can't see anything here alarming so far. I mean, the belts are still on it. Don't know if it turns over. It looks like the engine turns freely. There's some holes here. They always have holes in these exhausts. But yeah, I can't see any. They leak quite commonly around here, around these jackets. I can't see any obvious signs of water leaking, which is very good. Doesn't look like it's been messed with, and that's what I think is the most important thing. Should be able to get this thing running fairly easily. Alright, so here it is again in the cold light of day. It does look quite bad from here, but really there is a lot of positives about this van. This really is the main area that needs worked on. Pretty sure I can fix this quite easily. It shouldn't be too bad on this. Like, all of the bits where it really matters, like around the windows where these things always go, it seems fine. They do always go here. I don't know why. I'd like to find out why. But yeah, the other side hasn't. It might be something to do with the sink and the drainage. Maybe the water doesn't drain and it ends up getting trapped in here. And as for this side, this side's in really good condition. It's mainly just a few little scabs, but nothing bad at all. See, this side hasn't even rusted at all. The rail where the door runs through, that does get a bit of rust on it, and then it leaks like this. It looks bad, but a bit of T-cut and that'll come straight up. So I'm pretty impressed with this interior. I can't really see anything wrong with any of it. There's a couple clips, I think, on the doors that are broken. This is the main battery down here, and the leisure battery, I think, is under this one. So I'm gonna get the jump pack on there and see if this thing turns over. We looked at the engine yesterday and it looks like it should fire up. All right, so that's that connected. Let's turn it on. Oh, car's making noises. I think it's the radio. Assume this will be the one for the ignition. It's the one that did everything else. Okay, turn the choke on. I think you'd push these. That should have turned it on. Ooh, not enough power. I feel like there's a bad earth somewhere, maybe. Try it now. Oh, it tried. Sounded like it was going to go again there. I can smell fuel, so it's definitely getting fuel by the sound. It's like it's not even getting a spark now, so... Alright, let's get the stuff out the back. Sounds like it could be a sparking issue. Let's take some of these plugs, see what they look like. That looks good. Yeah, that looks good too. They all look fine. Alright, it just fired up. I have no idea why. I don't know what I've done. I guarantee if I turn it off, it won't turn back on. But, engine sounds pretty healthy to me. I'm telling you, there's something not quite right here. Revs up, it's spluttering quite a bit. There's quite a few exhaust leaks by the sound of it. There you go, it's gone, died. So that's lost its spark now, and I don't know why. Alright, so as you can see, the van is now down here, which means I got it running, and I drove it down here. I think I fixed the problem with not running. I think it was this. This is a ignition control module. My brother has a Golf of the exact same year as this, 1990. It's not a Golf actually, it's a Polo, the same engine. But yeah, I went to his and just robbed the one off his car, and it seems to start now. So I think this was the problem. I've only started it once since then and it ran, so I'm going to try starting it again. Hopefully it starts every time now, and that was the problem. Yeah. Starts again now. It runs great. The exhaust is leaking in loads of places, but apart from that, it seems to be running really well. So yeah, we need to patch up the exhaust or replace it. I've replaced one of these before. It's not the hardest job in the world. It's just the bolts are always really seized, especially the ones that go into the head. They can be a real pain to get out, and if you snap them, which I did last time, you got a whole other problem on your hands. But yeah, I think the next thing to do with this is just give it a proper full going over and see what it needs for an MOT. Obviously the exhaust leaks aren't good. So I think the main things that need fixed is there's a hole under there. I think this one's alright actually inside here. I think that one's okay. I think there's a hole maybe back there. Can't quite see it. But I think I need a patch in there. And I think this side needs one patch or two. I think this one, yeah, needs a patch there. There's a hole there. And a hole there. I think this side's okay. It's had a patch before. Also, I think we're going to give the engine a good service whilst we're here as well. Just oil and filter, air filter. I've got a new belt actually that came with it, a new auxiliary belt. Change that as well. I want to get rid of these horrible stickers that are sort of all over the windscreen. Yeah, they should come off pretty easy. I've got another one there that needs to sort of been sticker bombed. They need to come off. There's another one over here. They probably looked alright at one time, but they've faded so much now that they look a bit naff. There's a couple more around the back here. Could do with coming off. But yeah, I think the first thing to do is just tackle some of this welding that needs done. Alright, so don't mind this. I've got to go to a wedding this weekend and I've just bodged a bit of filler in there for the time being. It looks pretty rough, but it'll do. I'm actually going to buy, you can buy a whole repair panel, this whole thing. I think it goes in pretty easily. So what I'm about to do is probably a bit pointless, but I'm going to try and weld this bolt on here, and then I get the slide hammer, and then I'm going to try and pull these dents out the best I can. I'll put one here, probably going to grind some more marks down, because this doesn't really matter to be honest, because this whole panel is going to get replaced anyway. The only one that I really would like not to replace is this one, so I might try seeing if I can get one of these on here or something. Let's try that, but let's try this side first, because this side doesn't really matter. Alright, so that's these two patches all done. Both of them I did fully weld along the whole way. I carried on through the night, through the dark, and did all that. Put a little bit of skim of filler just to make it look a bit smooth. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. You can't really tell. This one isn't that great, but we're going to end up replacing this whole panel anyway at some point. I managed to pull most of these dents out. There's still quite a big one there. I could probably get that with the glue pulling, but yeah, we're going to end up replacing this panel anyway, because I've just filled over the main area of rust here. But the back sides of these panels aren't that bad, but on the other side, which is where we're working on now, we've got a hole there, a little bit here, it's going to need some sorting, and there is a hole back here, which I think was actually the main one on the last MOT, as I can tell from the chalk that's there. So I'm going to jack it up, whip this wheel off so I can get in there and cut that out properly. Just a triangular patch in there should be fine. That looks pretty much exactly the same as the last side, so we're just going to do exactly what we did there. Doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit, got a bit of surface rust on it, but it's a lot more solid than the other side. But yeah, underneath this thing's pretty good everywhere else. I don't know what this pipe's for. I assume it's for the water drainage. Should probably look into that. Alright, so I really want to pull these sun faded stickers off because I really hope there's no massive amount of rust under all these. It looks good so far. There's all of the stickers apart from whatever that thing is up there off of the car. That looks a lot better. Alright, so I was going to save this for the next video, but in order to take this thing for an MOT, I need to put this on. Bought a whole brand new stainless steel exhaust system. I think this thing was about £500. It's just wondering what it comes with. It's got the back box. Alright, I'm gonna have to read some instructions, but I need to get the old one off. I've already started and I'm having a bit of trouble with a few bolts. Alright, so that's the exhaust out. The main reason we're taking this off is, I don't know, I probably could have taken it off and saved it, but it's been patched before. So here, there's a big crack in the middle. You couldn't get to that without taking the whole thing off. So that's leaking there. There is another hole here, where this is obviously completely had it. That's been patched. There's a hole there. There's a hole on the underside of this one. I think this one is the only one that didn't have a hole in it, but there's a massive hole here, which I tried to patch up because I thought it was the only one until I saw there was millions of them. There's a hole in the top of this one. There's a hole in the top of that one. There is a hole there. There's loads of holes in there. This silencer actually is probably okay. But I mean, just look at all the hardware. Everything is just, look at that. This would never come undone. So the only way really to solve this was to buy a complete system. I'm just trying to deal with the bolts that snapped. 2 bolts snapped on me, which isn't too bad out of the 8 that are in here. That one snapped, but I've managed to get it out now. And I've got this one back here. I've actually put a nut on it because I'm about to weld that nut on. But this one is probably in my top 5 most seized studs I've ever seen. I finally got that stud out of there. I was hammering on it, trying mole grips. I was just about to get the welder out, and then I thought I was going to buy a stud extractor. But instead I put a, you can see I put a Torx bit, the smallest one I had, size 8. I put that over the end of the stud, and as you can tell by the colour of the socket, I heated it for ages. After hammering that on there with a lot of force, it came out. Next thing I want to do is I want to get all of this out and build it on the floor so I know how it all goes together. And then I'm probably just going to put it in pieces, little pieces at a time, and build it under the car. Sort of like this one looks, on the floor, build it up, and then take it apart again. Alright, I'm 99% sure that's the way it goes. Looks very nice and shiny. Just judging what's looking at the other one down there. Pretty sure that's correct. Just got to find all the brackets and stuff in the box. I think they're all in here. Big bag of them. Bits. Another bag over there. Get this thing on the car. Alright, this is a really annoying place to leave this because I haven't got the exhaust on. I promise beginning of the next video it will. These exhaust studs have just been eating up my days. Every time I come up here I'm fighting with these exhaust studs. I want to get them all out because they're really not in good condition. I want to get as many out as I can. There's a couple that could probably stay, but every time I try and get them out they snap, and I should just get some stud extractor because I've sacrificed 2 sockets now, I think. I promise next video this one will have the exhaust on it. We'll take it for its MOT to see how it does, but I managed to get all the welding in it done. I think there might be a couple more little bits, we'll see, they'll come up on the MOT. But for 600 quid, more like over 1,000, I think it was just over 1,000 with it delivered and everything to get it here. 1990 T25 camper van, full interior, 60,000 miles. I think this is a very good buy. I want to use this maybe for a little bit. I know it's coming into the winter now, which is a bit annoying, but I might try and hold on to this until next year and use it in the summer a bit. But yeah, this is a great car. I'm a massive fan of these, but if I can't find a place to store it over the winter, I probably will just sell it. Well, stay tuned for the next one. We'll get this thing properly on the road and road legal, and I'll go do a little camping trip or something in it, show you how everything works. I haven't actually tested the roof either, so save that. That'll be the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate you guys. Subscribe.